Can y'all share when it comes up? All right, everyone, what's going on? You see who's on your screen. You know why we're here. MLB trade deadline well, just came and left, but we had a flurry of trades. And well, the big fish went early. Ty, I'm gonna throw the introduction to you first because you guys did something that was obviously inevitable. We just didn't know when it was gonna happen. But go ahead, Ty. How you doing, brother?
Well, the Dodgers just added another Infinity Stone to their gauntlet, and that's what everyone's saying. Uh, Everybody hates me. I got so many texts and calls. I was like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. But apparently, when you have the Guggenheim partners who in a front office that is all about the next big thing, which is winning another championship and winning another championship. They do all the things that are necessary to make a dynasty happen. That's the name of the game, is to do it over again, repeat, go back to back to back. Y'all weren't mad when the Yankees did it, but now everybody's mad at us because they ain't us. Why?
All right, Ty. That's enough. Storms, what's going on, brother?
Oh, you know me. Just happy to be here.
You sure? You,
So
you had a rough day, buddy.
Look at you ain't kidding.
you're not you're not the only one, man. You know, the Reds didn't do anything. The Mets traded everyone. I don't even know who's on the roster anymore, to be honest with you.
Juan
And
Soto and Francisco Lindor. That's it.
I mean, that makes a
That's
billion
pretty
plus right
much.
there
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's keep talking about it. The big fish that we knew was going to be on the move. We knew where he was going. It was just a matter of time. And I mean, to be honest, the Dodgers didn't really give up anything, as they've been doing year in and year out. Ever since they got Mookie Betts, they've been getting the best player available. It started with Mookie, then it went Scherzer, Turner, Freeman, Shohei, Tucker. Now probably the best pitcher in the game in Skubal. Back-to-back Cy Young. And I mean, to be honest, whether Shohei comes or doesn't come back into the rotation come playoff time, it doesn't look like they may need him. They're deep enough now if they get healthy with Snell back and Glass now. They can probably do without Ohtani. But enough about what the Dodgers did. Let's talk about what the other teams in baseball didn't do and go after Blake Snell. Now, I mean, sorry, Skubal. Does this say more about the offer and what the Tigers jumped on right away? Or does it say more about the other teams not pursuing Skubal and throwing out a better offer? Ty, I'll throw to you first since it's your team. What do you think about what you got back? And do you think you should have, I mean, what you sent? And do you think the Tigers may have gotten more from other teams, being that Skubal was a big arm and Skubal could have made the difference for one particular team, and I'm thinking the Brewers, to get over the hump and actually beating the Dodgers this year in the playoffs. What do you think?
Well, a couple of things here as to why the Dodgers are in the best position to do so. One, because of their great farm system. You have some great prospects that went the Tigers' way. But the question marks, the what if of it all. It's a rental, let's be honest. There's a lot of concerns as far as how much money could you offer Scooble to where Scooble would commit to your franchise. And we all know that in LA, they don't shy away from paying stars. I mean, when you go back to the Tucker signing, there were other teams that could offer a longer contract, but the Dodgers presented the best package as far as money annually and also enough money to where, okay, we don't care if you get a player option that fourth year if you want it. That's too enticing. So when it comes to the front office, not too many are willing to roll the dice like La La Land, and that's what's happening right now. Is that what if the Dodgers are like, okay, we'll cover it, we'll take what we can get.
And the other thing that people don't understand is, if I'm not mistaken, the prospect that you guys sent over was number 15 or 17 prospect, the best prospect that they got in this trade. Is that correct, Ty?
Something like that.
Okay, so that's number 15 or 17 in the Dodgers organization. But in everybody else's organization, it's probably a lot higher. So while you're seeing a number for the Dodgers, meaning because he was in that organization, now he's traded to the Tigers, I wouldn't be surprised if he's either second or third in that, in now in that with them. So that's another thing to think about. Storms, what do you got to say about this trade, and what do you like or don't like about
Um, damn, my mind just went blank. What trade?
it? The Scuba trade.
Oh man, no, it's yet another chess move by the Dodgers because they didn't. Let's be real, they didn't need Scooble to get this three-peat, but now they don't have to go through him in Milwaukee or Chicago or New York or wherever, So they're also eliminating the biggest threat they could possibly face in the playoffs.
That's a really good point. To be honest with you, man, I'm surprised that the Brewers didn't make a harder push for him. That was one team that I was like a dark horse on this because, like I said in the beginning, I think this would have put him in the position to beat the Dodgers this year with adding him. But all right, enough about this trade. The biggest fish fell, and then we had a shit ton of trades this today. And Storms, thank you for keeping up with the entire Dish group and Facebook. It was like 30 or something trades today, I think you said. And we're gonna touch on most of them. Well, not most of them. We're gonna touch on a lot of them. And I think the biggest one, actually right after the Scooble trade for me is the Orioles getting rid of their catcher, man. Adley Rutschman for me, and going to the Red Sox. It actually gives the Red Sox now a bona fide catcher, even though Adley Rutschman is currently on the IL, and they needed to make sure that a physical got it through. For me, it doesn't necessarily say it's a start of a rebuild in Orioles Nation or in Baltimore, but it does say that they're willing to get rid of some pieces and bring some younger pieces back. Storms, what do you got to say about the Red Sox finally getting a catcher in which they needed?
Well, I know you just brought up like the Adley trade, but man, the Red Sox might the Red Sox might be one of the biggest winners, just because of this. I think Adley has seen some regression, but his talent is still there, and with the right coaching, and the way that they've been able to turn this thing around. I remember saying, and being very adamant about, you can't fire your entire coaching staff in the middle of the season and think it's going to make you a better club.
100%.
But look what they've been able to do. I mean, obviously, time remains to be seen, whether they finish the job. But this is a fantastic ad. Regardless of his struggles at the plate, Adley is still a fantastic defensive catcher. And like we keep saying, that is maybe the most important position on the field.
Mhm.
And I don't remember how far you have to go back to find a World Series winning team without a good catcher, but it's a long way.
It's a long time. We always say there's always a field general on, you know, playing the catcher position when you win the World Series, and it's true. And Adley Rutschman is one of them. And Ty, I want you to take it a step further, man. And I said this in the group. I think Adley And the reason why they brought Adley in is to help out with this young fucking pitching staff that the Red Sox have. And Cat alluded to it. He's a great defensive catcher. And I think he's gonna help him a lot. What do you think?
I mean, when you think of what Adley has experienced in a relatively still short career, you're 3 years removed from when the Orioles won 100 games, right?
Hmm.
So he's been part of the quick change turnaround, galvanizing a fan base, taking a franchise from basically worst to first almost, and a legitimate title contender and in the conversation. Now with the Red Sox, you don't have to necessarily think of it as like a worst to first. What you have to think of about is I'm in the same division that I've had success in. Now I have a little bit more resources, a little bit more support, and it's not all on me to carry the load. So now Adley can be the culture guy, can also be the defensive, glue, but he can settle down their pitching staff. What makes great pitchers and a great rotation is that catcher, is that general. So if he can build the chemistry with the guys they have in Beantown, you're definitely going to see change in the guard in the AL East, or at least the Red Sox saying, "Hey, we're still here and we're still in the conversation."
Yeah, and they actually got two catchers in that deal because Jake Rogers went over to Boston in that trade too.
I saw that. That squad that they got two catches in one trade.
But
And
So
yeah,
cash too, and
huge,
money.
huge
yeah.
upgrade over Narvaez though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, huge upgrade. Now let's get off of this shit and I want to talk about one of your division foes there, Ty. How about the Padres adding two pitchers with Casey Mize and then also Robbie Ray? And that instantly boosts their rotation, which before the season started, me and you picked them to not make it to the playoffs because of the rotation. But their rotation has been quietly pretty good and has kept them in it this year, even though their lineup hasn't, and Tatis, I'm looking at you, hasn't been what they've been in years past. But now they got Casey Mize, which was number two or number three starter in, sorry, number three starter in Detroit. But now he'll probably be fourth or fifth. And they got Robbie Ray, a good lefty, which the last 8 games has had a 1.09 ERA and has also had, I believe, the best ERA in like the past 2 months, tying Melton with the Detroit Tigers. But Ty, what do you got to say, man? What do you think about these guys joining your foe? I mean, I don't think it's gonna make much in the division race, but for the wild card, do you think now they got a better shot to make the wild card with these two guys?
Well, they had to do this because their rotation has been, a little bit banged up right now, and they tasted some success. And I applaud AJ Preller for recognizing, okay, we need to do something so that we at least give our bullpen, which is a decent bullpen,
Hmm.
um, a chance. So now what you just did is, if you're going to make a push for a wild card, yet again, you're looking at it from the lens of, do I really want to face the Padres in the postseason and the opening in the early stages of the postseason? Do I really want to take them on now that they've added some great talent? Um, I still say that they have a lot of work to do, and the Diamondbacks are just going to like lie down. They're going to make them, work for it. And the Diamondbacks did make a good move as well today. That was a surprise, but I give it up to the Padres. They like to stay relevant and at least say, "Hey, we're still here, and we still got some moves to make." Don't have much of a farm system, and that's one of their problems. Um, we'll see where this goes. Uh, 2 seasons from now, when they're trying to scramble to make a full omelet.
I agree with you. One of the
Their
things that
farm system plays for the Nationals.
you guys aren't wrong. Their farm system has been terrible and terrible for years, but we know they're not scared of spending that money because that's
That's
what they've
true.
done.
AJ Preller doing AJ Preller shit.
That's what he's been doing. But what do you think about these trade storms or these two trades and bringing in these two pitchers, man?
I think this is good God. I think these were excellent acquisitions. Robbie Ray still has a lot left in the tank, and I being in San Francisco, I think that's something that a lot of people haven't gotten to see just because they're not getting a lot of attention. That they're not very good.
Mhm.
Casey Mize is a great young pitcher. That's another thing. Their rotation, even with Ray, just got a little younger.
Which is weird to say, right?
Yeah.
Very weird.
but yeah, I think this was exactly what they needed. Like Ty said, we'll see if they can finish ahead of the Diamondbacks, but yeah.
This is what I like about these two trades. If they happen to sneak into the wild card, they now traded for two pitchers that can be middle relief innings pitchers in a wild card game and eat up innings.
I
They're
also
not.
never. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna throw out there. I also never understood why there were so many rumors around Mason Miller in the first place.
I don't know. I don't get that. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere unless they were 10, 15 games behind and not anywhere close to a wild card spot. There was no reason he was going to go anywhere.
Well, and at this point with the scoreless streak that he went on, you're not giving him up for even what you got him for. His value's only gone up.
Well, tell that to the Mets. They did they did a lot of that today.
But I'm just saying, I don't think there's any team out there that was going to be willing to give their asking price for it, like not even close.
I agree.
And I don't blame them for having such a high asking price.
I agree. Now, let me switch it over to a trade in which I think is one of the most underrated trades today, and it came in Philadelphia, in which I didn't think they were going to get this guy. I thought they were going to go against a power slugging first baseman, but the Phillies traded for Luis Arraez, a hitting machine, a non-strikeout machine, in which they need in that lineup to play first base and to move Harper back to the outfield, which he hasn't played since 22, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
It's been a minute.
And yeah,
Sounds about right.
It's been a while. And Harper said it. We need help. And well, they got one of the best pure hitters in all of baseball to hit on top in the top of the lineup and get on base for him. And this was a great trade. Great trade for the Phillies. They picked up Luis Arraez and they picked up also Caleb Keelan. And it's for me, it's a win for them. What do you got to say about this, Ty? I'll throw it over to you first.
I mean, anytime you get the National League leading batting average hitter, um, you basically are Bryce Harper. You're saying, "Thank you for listening. This is what I've been saying. This is why I wanted to do this." And luckily, the Phillies have like some great guys defensively that can move around. Like you got Baum who can move between first and third. You got Stott who can move around too. If Harper can actually play some decent outfield, I mean, this is a win-win for everybody across the board. Um, I think one thing that's also nice about getting who you just got is that he's also pretty good defensively too. at second base.
He's
So,
not bad. I mean,
He's gotten better.
He's not a Gold Glove, but he's
but
not a
he's
liability.
decent. Yeah, exactly. And at second base, that's important.
He's improved that defense over the last couple of years.
Oh hell yeah, he has. Yes, he has, and give him
Also,
props
and
for
maybe
that.
even more importantly, now you can throw Arise and Marsh at the top of your lineup and push Schwarber down to the 3. And
That
the
completely
next 20
changes your
home
lineup.
runs he's gonna hit are gonna bring in another 15 runs than they would have.
That changes the lineup completely,
Yeah.
completely.
And then Killian too is great in the bullpen. I mean, he's a hard thrower.
Hmm.
So it was a complete win for the Phillies. I don't know what the Giants were thinking today as far as just like, hey, here you go. You need something? This is what you need. Here, have it. I don't care. And that's what they did today. And the Phillies are taking advantage. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
now it's just got real over
and
there
and,
in the East.
and Colby wasn't even I mean, they brought in Brooks Raley too to add to that bullpen.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they did. We'll not talk about that because he was on the Mets. But what do you think about this trade, Storms?
I mean, I completely agree with Ty for for all the reasons I guess we both said.
Yeah, whenever you can get a guy that he's not going to hit for power, but he hits gap to gap and he gets on base. He's not the fastest guy on the base pads because he's not, but he knows how to work the count. He knows the strike zone. He works the pitch count, and he's just a good overall old school hitter. And the Phillies needed that because they have four guys in their lineup that strikes out over 100 times a year. That's a lot. That's 400 strikeouts in four players. And this guy in the last 5 years has struck out less than 50 times each season. That's insane. That's a big upgrade on the top of their lineup. And it was unexpected and it was a huge pickup for them. And kudos to the Phillies, man. They listened to Harper. Harper told them what they needed and they went out and got it.
Do you
And
trust Mattingly to not mess it up by playing with the lineup too much? That's the question.
he should play with the lineup. I mean, I'm saying not every day, moving guys in and out, but Arias should hit second. There's no reason why he shouldn't hit second and then leadoff spot. You can put whoever you want up there. I mean, you got Schwarber and you got Harper coming up third and fourth. Give him two at best to get the RBIs in right there. There's no reason for Arias not to hit second in that lineup. No reason. You guys got something to add about this trade, or you want to move on to the next? All right. So let's go to a team which we were kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? The Blue Jays. The Blue Jays traded pitchers, got pitchers, traded more pitchers, and got more pitchers. Which I like we were saying before we even got on the show, they were sellers for this year, but buyers for the beginning of next, which I couldn't understand, but don't understand, but at the same time, kind of understand. I guess the biggest one and the biggest fish is Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman going to the Cubs. The Cubs needed and need some starting pitching because, well, a lot of their pitchers are sidelined due to injuries, and some of their pitchers aren't really pitching well. But Gausman can be that guy on the top of the rotation. We've seen it. He carried the Blue Jays this year for a month or so until Cease took off and started being in the AL Cy Young. But what do you think, Storms, about this trade?
Gausman trade?
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it's a huge win for the Cubs. They have an entire pitching staff on the IL. They have for what, 2 months. Yeah, Gausman. The thing that's always fascinated me about Gosman is the way that he's able to dominate with 3 pitches and he'll give you 7 innings if you let him. But I mean, he's really almost a 2 pitch guy, which it's almost like you got a closer up there, but he's going for 3 times through the order.
And he's been a good pitcher for a long time.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
just
knows what
always
he knows what he's doing.
that's just always fascinated me about him. You don't see too many starters that mainly just throw 2 pitches.
Yep.
Um,
And go ahead.
oh no, I didn't. I don't know why I said I didn't have anything else to add.
What do you got, Ty? What do you think about this trade, man?
So, I mean, here's the interesting about Gosman. Like, hopefully you hope that this lights a fire because he is in the final year of his contract, right?
Correct.
So you hope it lights a fire to where he's like, okay, let me get another deal. My last deal, probably. I mean, what, he's 34, 35-ish, something like that, I think. But let's not forget who he was last postseason for a team that nearly won the whole thing. And that's the one thing people forget about veteran pitchers is that even if they struggle, because Gossman has struggled at times this year, giving up a lot of runs. Like Storm said, I have to agree with my brother here. You can't tell that we're related. I mean, obviously you're not watching. I mean, we finish each other's sentences, but nevertheless, he
To
can
say
give you.
sandwiches.
like my better half said, he can give you 7 innings if you let him, which is very valuable this day and age to give your bullpen much needed opportunities to come in and shut the door. So the Cubs were right to make this move because you're hoping that the fire gets lit yet again, and who you saw almost give a team a title that we didn't think would be traded somehow land in your lap. You hope this works in your favor, and I think it will. I think he'll fix it. And there are veteran pitchers out there that just have that ability, even with their steady Eddie pitches, to just figure it out and get it done.
Yep. And he has been good for so long, which he's really dependable, and you know what you're gonna get from him. But here is the thing that gets me from the Blue Jay side. I know they got rid of him because of an expiring contract. His contract is up after the end of the year, and he may just be a rental for the Cubs, which we'll see what winds up happening. But after doing that, they went out and they traded for Jose Soriano from the Angels, which is not a bad move because I believe they're gonna have years of control now because he's on the contract for some years, and they got rid of Gosman in the expiring contract. But Jose Soriano is a good young pitcher. I believe he's 24 years old, 23 years old, something like that. He's young. So
27.
oh, okay, 27. And at the beginning of this year, don't forget, Jose Soriano, I believe, went 6 or 7-0, and he had an ERA under 1. He was pitching amazing. And if they're able to get him back to that, he could very well take that spot. I like that they
Potential
did that.
ace. Potential
Yes,
ace.
very yes. I like that they did that. And they did give up some good pieces though. The number 2 prospect, a shortstop for him, and some other good prospects, but I think they got their potential ace up there with the Blue Jays. And what do you think, Ty? What do you think of, I mean, Storms, I'll kick it to you about what the Blue Jays did with these 2 trades.
Yeah, man. Soriano has been impressive. 8 quality starts this year. The one thing though is he does lead the American League in walks. So there's that. But yeah, I actually like what the Blue Jays did today. Like you said, they they got off a couple expiring contracts, got better for next season. And they also went out and brought in Spencer Arrighetti from Houston for Dalton Varsho too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that trade. I think Arrighetti's a quality pitcher, and I think if they pair him with Soriano, they can have a really good 1-2 punch up there. And don't forget your Savage. Your Savage is still a monster, and he's only in his rookie year, which is crazy. Ty, oh,
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, and you also have Dylan Cease there too.
Oh, forgot about him.
So
Shit.
so now you've got Cease, Soriano maybe at the 2. You probably put Arrighetti at the 3.
And then your Savage at 4. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's a wild rotation. You just took a lot of pressure off your Savage. He doesn't have to be that guy. They did something really smart there. You guys want to add anything to what the Blue Jays did? All right, let's move on to another team in which we just hit on them a little bit. The Cubs for getting Kevin Gausman, but also trading for Clay Holmes.
Oh,
And
wait.
huh.
Just one last thing on the Blue Jays. They also traded for Jameson Taillon today.
I
So
forgot
that's
about
another
that.
starting pitcher.
That's a good point. But we're gonna see with the Cubs, and we're gonna see what they did. Well, and we're gonna see with these two trades, and I like them actually getting Clay Holmes, and I like them and getting Clay Holmes, and not only Clay Holmes, because they got Tyrone Taylor that were playing for the Mets. Clay Holmes the last 2 years has been the most dependable starter that the Mets had. He was pitching really well this year. And he's pretty young, 33 years old. Not an old pitcher, but he's good, and he's got a good enough ERA to help the Cubs. And like you said earlier, Storms, they're depleted rotation, and now they have an outfielder in Tyrone Taylor that can come in, give him a spot start, speed on the bases, good defensive outfield, and he he's pretty clutch when he comes up and he pitch hits for them. He can pitch hit for them as well. Um, I like this. Not much to the trade, but I like it from them getting defensively better, and then also another arm for that rotation that you said was depleted. Is there anything that you guys want to add to this trade, or?
No.
I do. I'll say this. And it's shocking because, of course, everybody wants to give the big winner, of course, is the Dodgers, and I won't necessarily argue that. But if you really, really pay attention to baseball, the Cubs have really just entered the room, revamping that rotation. Because what we know about the Cubs is that they're one of the few teams that can score runs well with the Dodgers. I mean, look at tonight; they just put up 10 runs and smashed the Dodgers tonight. Now you got a revamped rotation where you got Gossman, you got Boyd, you got Holmes, Shada. You have a legit pitching rotation to go with the runs they can put up with, and that's scary in today's game. So if you're not paying attention to that and not really focusing on what's happening, and or could happen in the NL Central, you're looking at the Cubs saying, "Brewers, here I come," and the Brewers goofing at the deadline may hurt them.
Yeah, you got anything to add, Storms?
Yeah. So one acquisition they had today that I think may go a little under the radar is Braxton Garrett from the Marlins. He spent most of the year in AAA, but he was really, really good for the Marlins in like 23 and 24 before he got hurt and had surgery, and then he missed all of last season. But if he can get back to form, that's going to be fleecing. um, Another little tidbit. You know who else the Cubs traded away today?
Who's
Mason
that?
McGuire, Mark's kid.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh.
All right. I had no idea. Well, all right.
Yeah, he went to the Angels. They him and Moises Ballesteros, they traded them for Ryan Zefferjon. I think I said that right. Reliever.
Yeah, Moises was good. Not too many people in Chicago probably happy about that one, but he's been good.
He had a good April.
Yeah,
I mean, he had an amazing April, but he kind of fell off pretty quickly after that, and he spent the most of the season in AAA since then.
So let's move over to a team which has been surprising this year, and nobody thought they were going to be where they are now in the White Sox, and them making a splash. We're getting Luis Castillo from the Mariners. Took advantage of the outstanding rotation that we know the Mariners have had now for a couple of years, and basically got their ace, to pair him with Doug Martin over there in the Central. They don't need much. They're a young team. I said this on the radio last week. The White Sox are one of those teams that could stay put and nobody would be upset because nobody expected anything from them this year. But they went ahead and actually added an arm, ace type pitcher. We know what Castillo can do. I know he hasn't been what he has been in the past 2 years, but what he could be with a fresh start and with a young team like that to rejuvenate his career. I mean, he's now in his 10th year, which it's crazy to even think is his 10th year. But Castillo could very be that pitcher that, maybe wins them a series. Who knows? They're young enough. They don't know any better. Well, what do you think about this trade, Storms? What do you got to say about you? Well, you know Castillo really well. You used to play with the Reds.
That's I was gonna say it's wild that he's in his 10th season, but it's also wild to think it's been 4 years since he was in Cincinnati too.
Hmm.
Um, but no, this was a good trade. I mean, like you said, he's not what he once was, but he can slot right in the third spot in the rotation. Um, Another thing that I think was a hell of an acquisition for them was Brenton Doyle from the
Yes.
Rockies.
Yes.
And another thing that I think was a little telling about it may be a while before we see Kyle Teal. They went and traded for another catcher today and got Joey Bart too.
Yeah.
So, but they also made another, um, just like Toronto, under the radar acquisition on the pitching front in Jose Urquidy. That it was a very low risk, high reward deal. They didn't have to give up hardly anything to get him, but if he can get back to even half of the pitcher that he used to be in Houston, they're gonna win that trade by a mile.
And they also got some relief pitching with Oscar Brazaban from the Mets, one of the best Mets
Oh, that's right.
relievers. And like I said, the White Sox didn't need to do shit because nobody expected them to be here. And they went out and said, "We need a couple of things. Let's get it." And they had the right mentality saying, "We're in first place. We don't need to do anything. And anything that we do doesn't really matter." Because, like I said, nobody expected him to be here. But Ty, what do you got to say about it?
No, I mean, some people would have expected because they're ahead of schedule for the White Sox to be aggressive and make moves. But no, when you're in a youth movement in this league and a changing of the guard, you don't have to make the big splashy moves. You just make moves that make sense. So, like Storms pointed out with Doyle, yeah, he can't hit for. I don't know what's his problem with hitting, but man, is he good defensively. So if he ever figured out how to just get on base, like he would be such an asset to that team. But I mean, if you just needed, some quality defense, which the White Sox, needed, that's where they got it. If you need a nice veteran piece to your rotation, you go out and get it. And they even added a veteran arm to their bullpen because I believe Huskar is like with 37, 36, something like that. So uh you balance it out. You have a youth, movement going on in Chi-Town, but you get some veteran guys who can like add some composure, add some stability, add culture, and then at certain times in the postseason when it's necessary, add that clutch factor.
Yes. And we know in the postseason that is needed. With a young team and adding those type of pieces, yeah, that is definitely something that's fantastic for them. I'm excited to see where this White Sox team goes. Like I said, been watching them lately. They're young. They're a kind of team that they don't know any better. They really don't. They play like that each day.
And they don't
And
care. They don't
no,
care. Like
they don't care at all. And it's fun to see, man. I like that a lot.
playing
Now,
free, playing free.
yeah, switching from one team to another, but um, we're gonna go from a team that had a fire sale, but sent a player that's an interesting pitcher, the Mets, sending Freddie Peralta to the Rays. Freddie Peralta did not look like Freddie Peralta of 2015, where he finished, I believe, either fourth or fifth in Cy Young voting in the NL. And now he goes to an organization that just knows how to fix pitching because that's what the Rays do. And the Rays picked up a legit pitcher that can be a legit ace for a division leading team. And if I'm not mistaken, right now there are a couple of games over the Yankees. And this is an excellent move for them if they're able to get Peralta right. Storms, you talked about Peralta a little earlier in the year, and I mean, let's be honest, the big city isn't for everybody. New York is different. The media is different. I just think it's something to which he probably couldn't handle just because obviously I'm a Mets fan. I watch him almost every game. And Peralta's still a hell of a pitcher, but him going to the Rays in the middle of having a bad year, I think the Rays get him right. What do you think?
No, they're the pitching whisperers.
Hmm.
Yeah. It, I don't remember who it was we were talking about the other day, but I said it. I said if the Rays can't get him right, then
Oh,
then it's time.
McCullers.
Yeah. If the Rays can't get him right, then it's time to hang him up. But no, man, this is a great deal. I missed this one somehow. I didn't even know about it till you brought it up.
Well, you got
I
almost all the trades.
I posted every single other trade that happened today. But no, that's fantastic. Um, and you know what? The since it was the Mets that you brought up, the one thing that they did today that I actually did like was was trading for they sent Luke Weaver to the Pirates and brought in a young minor league shortstop, Sammy Staffora, whatever. He's been absolutely tearing it up down in Double A for the Pirates. Hell of an acquisition there. All the other trades you guys made sucked.
Man, I don't give a shit. I just want the fucking World Series. I don't give a fuck about these trades. Moving on. What do you what do you think about the Peralta trade, Ty?
So I kind of want to be funny. And it's funny because the Mets were kind of doing this. The last couple of games they pitched, like Freddie didn't even get to like the fifth inning. So
Hmm.
I think what the Rays are going to do, as we know the Rays do, is they're going to go to Peralta and say, "Hey, welcome to the sit your ass down room. You ain't pitching no more than this many innings, and you're going to like it." So
That's
sit
that's
your
what
ass
they that's what the Rays
down.
do though, man. That's what they do. They're
It
the
may work
ones
for him though. I mean,
that
because with the
yeah,
Brewers, I mean, he pitched a lot. I mean, he
yeah.
was he went deep with the Brewers the many years he was there. So if you're the Rays, you're gonna say to Peralta, sit your ass down, and you get these quality starts, and You just enjoy the latter half of your career here.
And it ties a little into the team that invented the bullpen game. And that's what they do. That's how they win games. They're a scrappy bunch. They've always been like that. And if you get sent to the Rays, Storms alluded to earlier, and you're not able to fix what's wrong either mechanically or psychologically with your pitching, something's wrong with it. You're broken.
Your only other hope is the Brewers.
That's it. Really, that's really it. And you know, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see where it. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna fix him, and I mean, I don't think there was much wrong with him. I just think it was a change of pace from going from Milwaukee to New York. That's a big difference. Now he's going to another city in which doesn't get a lot of coverage, but they're a good team, and he's gonna help them out a lot.
He also
Now,
got less run support in New York.
Yep.
that's very true. Very, very true, because we fucking suck. But anyway, moving on. How about let's talk about the other New York team. I like the two bats that they added, the Yankees, with first baseman Luis Garcia Jr. He actually had a big home run today that put the team up 7-6, I believe, in the seventh inning. I mean, they wound up losing the game, but his first at bat was a home run for the Yankees that put him up. And if you're talking to a lot of national players and also coaches and teammates, they would say that this guy is very competitive, has some pop in his bat, like he showed today, but he is also very knowledgeable of the strike zone. And he showed it today. He had a nice at bat and he hit a home run. But I like what they did with getting Luis Garcia one. And then secondly, from the Giants, they wanted of getting Heliot Ramos, the outfielder, which adds another power bat. And in New York, man, in that in that small stadium, you just need to hit, you just need to hit it a little bit and it's gonna go a long way. And they needed some production in that lineup with Judge, Carlos Stanton, Bellinger being out. And well, they got two bats today, Storms. What do you think about the acquisitions, man?
Man, I know the Yankees didn't get their catcher, but
Hmm.
Yankee fans have got to be ecstatic about this. This is the big left-handed power bat they've been looking for 2 years.
Hmm.
And I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on another one before this, but these two bats are, once they get healthy, going to complete their lineup. Um, you know, sometimes less is more. They didn't have to go out and make a whole bunch of trades to get a hell of a lot better.
No, because when they get healthy, they're gonna be a hell of a lot better with these two bats. These two bats are gonna extend their lineup tremendously, and I I, I can't wait to see how they play these two guys. What do you think, Tab, about these two bats?
There was one person who did a backflip more than the Yankees fans did when this trade was announced, or these trades went down. That was Ben Rice. Ben Rice was thank God because he carried this Yankee squad when Judge went down, and pretty much the whole first half of the year, he did it all. And besides him refueling for post All-Star break, you could tell he was running out of juice in the and gas in the tank. I mean, he was running on fumes. So he sees these trades go down. He's like, there is a God.
I
There is
have
more,
protection again.
right? So Ben Rice was probably backflips. He probably bought some bottles of champagne. He's like, whatever you need, I got you. I'll dinner the whole first month. So he's definitely happy.
As a Ben Rice fantasy owner, I was right there alongside him.
Oh man, that's great. Um, Now let's go to one trade just to touch on it real quick that we all like, what the fuck are they doing? The Cardinals trading Lars Newbar to the Diamondbacks.
There's more than that.
And like that's a great picker for the Diamondbacks. Tremendous picker for the Diamondbacks. Great player. great outfielder, and he just gets on base, knows how to play the game. I mean, he has struggled with injuries in the past, but I think it's a tremendous pickup for them. And then not only them getting rid of him, but getting rid of Dustin May. Why? And okay, I understand nobody expected it to be for them to be where they're at now, but they wouldn't be where they're at now if it wasn't for these two players. And getting rid of them, what does it really say to your team? You know, you guys have overachieved, and for overachieving, we'll get rid of the best two players we've had this year. Um, Ty, you got a lot to say, and I know you didn't like this when we brought this up in the beginning. We were like, "What the fuck? What do you got to say, man?"
The way I see it is they're getting ready for the future. And you added some great prospects. I'll give you that. Some
Who?
really, really impressive prospects. But you already had the youngest team in the majors. Like what are we doing
Yes,
here?
yes.
Like is he like the Sam Presti of the MLB right now, where he's like, regardless of the talent I have, I'm still gonna stockpile all these prospects, aka draft picks, in the Sam Presti lingo, and to tie that bow right there. I mean, if you think he's going to win, and he could be right, the Cardinals could be right here as far as getting ready to build around the great talent that they have, and adding, more to the makeover. But like I said, you have two great stars in Jordan Walker and Weatherholt. Now it's like, how do you build around them? And we'll see. We'll see.
What do you got, Storms?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this new bar trade because I'm looking at the two prospects they got. One's a 21-year-old closer in high A ball, and the other is a 23-year-old double A pitcher with a 5 ERA
Hmm.
or 4.95. And so the player to be named later better be Jesus Mate. Like,
Man,
I
but
mean, not really, but I just don't understand it.
no,
Don't
I don't.
understand it.
I don't get what they were. I mean, I know they're going for, getting young and getting rid of some contracts, and they're ahead of, well, not ahead. They're doing better than what they thought they were going to do this year, but I don't think these were the right moves for them. They could have just stayed put and write it out. I mean, honestly. But on flip side of that, let's talk about, in my opinion, one of the winners of this trade deadline, even though they weren't able to pick up Skubal, the Brewers, man. The Brewers and what they did. I liked what they did with picking up Justin May. Not only Justin May, but also the relief pitcher Jojo Romero from the Cards in the same trade. And then they went out and got uh Antonio Senzatella from the Rockies, which is going to be big help out of the bullpen. And they also made one more trade of note. Um, can't find, I just saw it. It was another pitcher, I believe, that they picked up. But
Antonio Senzatella.
yeah, that's what I just said. I
Oh,
thought it was one more trade that they got.
yeah, they're the ones that traded for McCullers, not the Rays.
There you go. There you go. So, and we will see if these arms pick dividends, and I think they will. I mean, Dustin May has been great for the Cardinals this year, and we have said if it's not the Rays that fix you, is the Brewers, and he's only going to get better. And then Zanzatella being a pros pro, I think he's 30 years old, but he throws 95 plus. He's going to be great out of the bullpen for them, which they already have a good bullpen. It's only going to help them. Ty, you got something to say about these guys joining the Brew Crew?
I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, you could have had arguably the best 1-2 punch in baseball if you would have gotten Skubal, and a lot of people are discrediting the Brewers because of that. But what was the asking price? I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know the Tigers wanted some of their good prospects. In fact, one of the best prospects in baseball probably was on the table, or at least asked about, and the Brewers are like, it ain't gonna happen. It doesn't mean that the Brewers have, taken a step back. I mean, they're currently leading one of the toughest divisions in baseball for a reason. So when you're already a division leader, you just need to pick up a few odds and ends and pieces here that can easily just gel right in. And that's what they did. They'll still probably be a team that makes a deep run this postseason. I definitely can still see them as an NLCS participant. Um, but the Phillies will have something to say about that.
Mhm.
They will. The Cubs are right there. So it's not going to get easier for them, but they're holding ground. And I think that's what the Brewers did this trade deadline is just it's like, okay, this is what we need to do. Let's just stay the course.
They still got Miz. Miz
Hmm.
is still top of that rotation.
And now,
And
as I think you pointed out earlier, they also now have the best backup catcher in baseball in Bo Naylor.
that was a trade I was looking for. Yes, they have the best 1-2 combo catchers, meaning starting catcher and backup catcher in all of baseball. And that is good for them. Great
Logan
for them.
Henderson, ladies and gentlemen, they still got him, which is what I also heard he was part of what the Tigers wanted. And if you think about it, Logan Henderson, I think, has a lower ERA than Skubal right now.
Yes. So, Cat, touch on these, man. What do you think about these guys joining Boo-hoo?
Man, I don't like it, but but you know,
He got his
that's
he got his reasons.
that's the Reds fan in me. No, I think they, like you said, they probably are one of the biggest winners. Senzatella is a great reliever. Just told you what I think of Bo Naylor. Um, McCullers, if this is another case of if he can get back to half of what he used to be in Houston, then they're gonna, and Colton Gordon that came along with him isn't nothing to sneeze at either. So, um, yeah, and then the two guys that came over, May and Romero from St. Louis, they basically went from 8 out of 10 to probably a 9.5 out of 10 on the pitching staff.
I like what they did there, man. I like what the Brewers did. We talk about lengthening the lineup. Well, they just lengthened their rotation by adding Justin Lin. They really did. And I hope he continues to do what he was doing with the Cardinals. Now, one more trade of note that we didn't talk about and we haven't touched on, and it's because really nobody's talking about it. And I like the move, and I hate to say it's for the Dodgers again, but the Dodgers picking up Chris Bubik from the Royals. He's currently on the IL, but he's looking to come back and be ready by the end of the month. And for them to use him out of the rotation, and if he comes back to anything what he was in 2024, where he had a 2.67 ERA and he was a legit candidate, which I thought for a possible Cy Young out of the AL, he can be that dominant. And now the Dodgers just picked up another arm to use out of that bullpen, which I mean, let's be honest, if anything is the weak link in LA, and it has been for what, Ty, the last 3 years, is the bullpen. Chris Bubik helps
Yes.
them out a lot. What do you think, Ty, about this trade?
So, full disclosure, don't hate me, Dodgers Nation, because you can't get rid of me. I'm stuck with you forever for life. But these brothers of mine can attest. What did I say I wanted at the trade deadline the most for the Dodgers?
Bullpen help.
Exactly. Now I'm happy that, we're arguably going to have one of, like, if not the best rotation in baseball. I mean, I'm not going to say that's not good to have, but you need to be successful and to make a deep run in the playoffs, you need to have a strong, strong bullpen. So definitely I love that what the Dodgers front office doesn't do is panic and say, okay, we're going to make some good moves. We're going to make our big splash of what everyone's talking about, but we're going to do some things behind the scenes you're not ready to discuss. But when October comes around, you'll know why and you'll
Mm-hmm.
understand. And
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be one of the true testaments of us going on this quest for a three-peat of showing and proving to everybody, why. I mean, other teams would have panicked and say, "Hey, we need to replace, or get a replacement, so to speak, for Will Smith, as he's, hurting, and we need to address that." Or other things that really, when it comes to postseason baseball greatness, uh, wouldn't be as a factor as what we just did. So I like it. I was definitely happy, and you'll see once again, Guggenheim partners are like, we're going to do what we need to do to be successful, and that's why we've been holding it down season after season and learn from the struggles of when we didn't make deep postseason runs, and they're now consistent and being, the NL pretty much gatekeeper.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's be honest. Out of all the teams in the MLB, your team is the deepest both in the show, in AAA, and in AA, because they are. And they can afford the patience and not to hurry a player up because of what they've done year in and year out, and being patient with their players and also signing the best free agents out there year in and year out. And this just proves nobody would have gone after Chris Bubik. You know what I mean? Nobody. And the Dodgers can afford to do that because they don't need him. I mean, honestly, they really don't. Kat, what do you guys say about this trade?
I think it's great. Their potential playoff bullpen now
Oh yeah, it's fucking stupid.
is so you've got um Sheehan, Bubich, Sasaki.
Dude,
Uh
that's like fucking aces on any other fucking team. Like it
yeah,
really is.
yeah. We haven't even gotten to the three closers on the roster yet.
Let's fucking
Yep.
move on to the next trade.
I mean, we can
Like,
talk about it. We can talk
no,
about it.
no, no, I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
And you know what? Actually, speaking of which, Edwin Diaz just came back last week, and he's been out since April. So that's essentially another deadline acquisition.
Go fucking fight some more fucking shit over there in Puerto Rico, whatever he got suspended for. What did he get
Gotta
suspended for
save
again?
his first game back too. Like,
No,
came back.
he was hurt.
No, his first. I think his. I forget which day it was, but I know he closed it out and looked good. Um, Coming right back. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Fucking, why are we talking about this fucking Mets? Anyway, um, the
We weren't talking about the Mets.
well, I mean, we essentially are because we fucking let him go. But anyway,
Well,
there was a lot of trades in the trade deadline, and it's kind of hard to talk about all of them, but we touched upon most of them and the biggest ones. Um, is there one that you guys want to touch on that we did not talk about briefly before we go? If there is, go ahead, bring it up and we'll touch on it.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
The Guardians, or I'm sorry. Let me try that again. The Ty.
Guardians.
Brought in Foster Griffin today from the Nationals. It
Oh, I
was
saw that. Saw
and
that.
and they also brought in Joe Adele from the Angels, but
Which gave us who gave us the best fucking picture in all the best fucking picture in all of baseball history when he was in the stands holding the ball up, robbing the home run.
best defensive performance, single game performance of all time.
He's fucking won them the game, robbed 3 home runs. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
and a 1-0 win.
Yes, that was great. And you trade the guy. Anyway.
But I mean it was a big asking price. They gave up 4 prospects, but um
Oh, they also got Nathaniel Lowe. Don't forget about that from the Reds.
Yep. Josh
yeah,
was going to bring that up. He wasn't
I
going to
was
say
not.
that.
I know. I had to
I
throw it in
was
there.
not. He's been our best hitter over the last few weeks, and he's the reason he's the main reason we're 10-6 since the break. So,
Well, you're welcome, Guardians.
yeah. But oh, one thing I saw that was funny. My cousin sent me a picture from ESPN. For some reason, they had the Guardians ranked #1 in their new American League Power rankings. Which
Wow.
now they
What
got a
the
lot
fuck?
better today, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious. What the fuck?
That's a bit of a
Okay.
stretch.
Just a little bit. Jesus Christ. Ty, is there anything you want to touch on any of the trades that did happen?
Um, I'll add that the Rays, as they always do, uh, are going to be, I think, the AL cream of the cream a crop here. Now that if ESPN is saying it's the Guardians, I just don't see it. But I think the Rays have positioned themselves, albeit quietly as they do, not making too many big splashes. I think they are recognizing that the AL East is theirs for the taking. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to say the Rays. If ESPN saying the Guardians, like I just can't get. I had to say that.
Yeah, like I said, they got better today, but I can't get behind that.
I really can't.
How about
Um,
but you touched on it. How about with a trade we didn't touch on? The Rays getting Liam Hicks from the Marlins.
Yeah.
A much needed upgrade at the catch position, which
Yep.
they've been platooning, all year. And well, he's a big upgrade, you know what I mean? And we
and
know
they
about
don't
that.
even have to fix it.
No, they don't. And he's he's going to go there with a really good pitching staff that's been overachieving all year. So
We're all eyes
we'll
on
see.
you, man.
Oh,
Hmm.
you know what? I want to touch on a few trades that didn't happen.
That's Thank you, Storms. You read my mind.
All
Let's
right. Well,
not
let's cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
now that we're here, Storms, take it
The
away.
Texas Rangers. You might look at your MLB trade tracker and go, well, the Rangers didn't do shit today. Well, they tried to blow it up. Jacob DeGrom vetoed a trade to the Braves.
That's true. That was true.
He for sure exercised his no trade clause. The only team that's public knowledge that actually called about him is the Braves. So I'm assuming
if that's the case, DeGrom, I like you even fucking more now. Thank you.
But not only that, they also reportedly
I heard it was the Red Sox. That's what I heard. Is the Red Sox that's calling.
With DeGrom?
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
That's what I heard, and that's why I was like, "Is that true?" Because I heard it was the Red Sox.
That would have been huge.
Wow.
That would have been a great pickup for the Red Sox if that would have happened. Could you imagine that? Wow.
But word is they also approached Corey Seager about waiving his no trade clause,
Oh, did they?
and Uvalde too.
I saw
Nasty
Evaldi.
Nate.
I saw Nasty Nate. I didn't see Seager. And what? So I'm assuming Seager said,
I'm assuming they both said no because that was the only time I heard their names today.
Either that or maybe that asking price was just too much for all for both of them.
I don't know. I don't know whether they were trying to put them in the same deal or just going to them and saying, "Hey, we want to blow it up. Can we please trade you?"
Yeah. So how about, I mean, you didn't touch on it. I thought you were gonna go ahead and cook. How about your team, man? What the fuck? What's going on?
Man,
Let it out.
I'm
Let it out.
I'm so fucking mad. The one that really pissed me off. I love Tyler Stevenson,
Mhm.
right? But the Reds have been fighting with him over money for 3 years now. They've been to arbitration all 3 years.
How much was this last year? How much was it for?
$250,000, $250,000.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
I think the fucking Dodgers would have given him a signing bonus of that amount if shit.
it's been over a year since they've had extension talks. They were not close when they were talking.
Hmm.
And everybody and their mom knew that the Yankees wanted a catcher,
Hmm.
and
And
they
looking
sat on their
too.
fucking hands. And now he's gonna walk in November, and they're gonna get nothing for him because I know that I know that he loves Cincinnati, and he's said that's where he wants to be in the past. But I'm a lifelong Reds fan, and if I was in his shoes right now, I would feel disrespected enough to never want to come back.
You can't
It's
blame
been a
him.
decade though, right? Maybe he's just comfortable.
6 years.
I mean, there's but comfortable and not getting your money is a big difference, man. You know what I mean? Going to arbitration over 250,000 is it says a lot as far as what an organization thinks about you.
Yeah,
And he's been quite arguably their best player for a long stretch of time. And he deserves, I mean, I get your frustration. He deserves a lot better than what he's being treated over there in Cincinnati.
yeah,
And
and
to let
Brady.
him, I'm sorry, and to let him walk for for nothing at the end of the year when his you just went to arbitration for giving him some type of money is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and not only that, Brady Singer is a solid middle of the rotation arm,
Yes.
and he's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year. That's another guy I can't see them re-signing because he's already the highest paid Red. He's gonna probably be a $20 million pitcher, and then you got Brock Burke, who's one of the best left-handed relievers available, and he's on an expiring contract. I just don't understand when you come into the season with all these high expectations, you fall flat on your face, you realize that some of these guys that you bet big on aren't panning out, and you do nothing. You sit on your hands at the deadline, and you've got all this talent walking out the door for nothing.
Damn, I thought you were talking about my Mets for a second. I was about to say, hold on,
I
why we said,
was.
fuck.
But Storms, is it true that even Stevenson thought he was going to be traded? Like it was like a game or two ago. Like he was like emotional, was like knew that it was going to happen. Because
it,
I don't know.
it seemed like it.
Yeah, because I don't know. Besides the Yankees and the White Sox, I don't know who else out there was like talking. But what was it? What were you guys asking for? That's what I want to know. Is what did you guys want?
Well, that's the other reason why this doesn't make sense because it doesn't really seem like they value him very high.
Right, right.
So I understand that offensive catchers are at a premium, but if you don't think he's worth, I mean he's I think he's only making like $6 million this year. If you don't think he's worth 6.5, then how could your asking price be very high?
I mean, Adley got a lot.
Yeah. So
The Red
and
Sox
not
paid that
only
price.
yeah, and not only does he have a great bat, he's got the best ABS record in baseball. I mean, the value is there. It just it seems like they're being very hypocritical, and maybe there's something behind the scenes where there's just not a good relationship between him and the front office. I don't know.
What do you got any trades that or any players that you're surprised that did not move? Ty?
Um, I'll actually say that it was shocking to not see DeGrom go. I didn't want to believe it, but especially the Braves thing. The Red Sox, I was crazier, but I was worried that he was moving somewhere. I was like, where? And because he's from, I think he's from the East Coast, like from Florida or something. I was like, oh, what if he does go? So, I was surprised that he decided to stay in Texas. I thought he was gone.
You thought it was gone?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that one team stayed pretty quiet, and that's the Astros. I mean, honestly, they didn't really do much, but I mean, that's because they're in a weak division and they don't really need much. I mean, honestly, the Mariners are underperforming. Houston is kind of right there where they probably should be. And then, I mean, sorry, Texas is right there where they probably should be, but I thought Houston would have done a little bit more than what they did,
Yeah,
which
only deal
nothing.
of consequence they made was Varsho Ferreira.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all. But Varsho, I mean, I don't think Varsho really helps them out that much. But yeah, I thought they would have done more. But now that the trade deadline is done and gone, what does that mean? We have 2 months in the season left. The wild card races are heating up. The division races are heating up. Guys, is there anything you want to say before we go? Anything as far as wild cards or division races? What race is more interesting to you right now? Let me know before we say goodbye to YouTube.
It's still the AL East. That's still a division. That's a monster. A lot of moves from a lot of teams. So that race is always going to be fun. Um, I think the two-man race between the Guardians and the White Sox is going to be interesting as well. So don't count out AL Central.
The
You don't think
Twins,
you don't
the
think the Twins are going to be
the
able to keep
Twins
up?
are still in
They're,
it.
they're only a game behind the Guards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's possible, but when you get Hoffman, he'll blow it.
That and they gotta stay healthy. With
Yeah.
Lewis and then Brooks, and they gotta stay healthy. They have to stay healthy. What's yours, Ty? I mean, Storms, excuse me. What do you think what's your race to watch?
I think I think the NL East just got a whole lot more interesting. I mean, it's not like you have in the Central where um, Cleveland almost feels like a new player. I know they're only 3 games back. It just I don't know. It just it feels like a bigger gap, or it felt like a bigger gap before today. I think, even though the White Sox also got a lot better.
Hmm.
Um, but the run that Boston's been on and the
Yeah, it's been
deals that they
crazy.
made today,
Yeah,
I I'm gonna be paying more attention to that race than I was before.
I agree with you. I agree with both of you
I so
guys.
wanted Kyle on the show for that. I so wanted him on the show.
I know.
Love you, Kyle.
The For me, it's the NL wild card. I think
Ooh,
I
yeah,
I, I think
yeah.
I think one of the two powerhouse teams, well, I say powerhouse because they came into the year thinking that they were going to make a good run and deep into the playoffs, which is the Padres and the Phillies. And well, if you're looking at it too, the Cubs. There's a shot that one of those three teams may not make the playoffs. And all three of those teams made some good moves to bolster their roster. It's going to be interesting to see if whether it's all three of them that make it or if one of them doesn't. What do they do? If the Phillies don't make it, is it time to get rid of some of those pieces? If the Padres don't make it, is it time to get rid of some of them pieces? I mean, I'm fascinated to see who makes it in that wild card.
Now
Oh,
that you say that, Guru, how come the Nationals didn't fall in line and do a fire sale to help teams out? Weren't they
Hell
supposed to
no.
move on Abrams?
Hell no, man. I mean, they just need pitching and they're gonna have money to spend. You know what I mean? And shit, if the Dodgers don't wrap up Scooble, watch out, because the Nationals are gonna have money to spend. That's one team, one dark horse in that race.
one deal I'm not surprised didn't happen.
What's that?
A lot of teams called Miami about Otto Lopez,
I saw that. I
but
saw that.
it seemed like every team that that had somebody who talked to a reporter said, "Oh, we heard their asking price," and said, "Hell no."
They were like, no. Oh man. Hey, but this is fun times. Like I said, the trade deadline just happened. 2 months left in this season. And actually, stay tuned if you're watching and if you watched all the way through, because the beginning of next month is going to be something cool and something different here at the Dish. Can't say too much details, but it's going to be different and it's going to be very fun. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys.